Tony here, and I'm with Alex, and we're in the NIFS weight room. We're getting geared up for this year's powerlifting competition, and we'd like to go over a few technical and some of those tips that you're gonna need to know as you gear up and get ready for that competition that's coming up pretty soon. So there's no surprises. We want to go over a couple and what I consider the top 4 things for each one of these lifts, right? So we're gonna take a look at the squat to begin with, and again, and I'll preface every one of these lifts, it's very important that you listen to the commands of your chief referee that's in your station. Follow those commands, you're gonna be just fine, okay? But make sure that you are listening to that individual and you're following those commands. So I don't wanna say that over and over again, so I'll preface every lift, make sure you're listening to those commands, okay? So let's take a look at the squat to begin with. As you step into the rack for your first lift, you're gonna come in and get in the position that you're comfortable with. Again, the referee will ask you to step in and get ready to go. You can do whatever you need to do to get into that position you're comfortable with. So getting underneath the bar. Alrighty, so come on, bring it out over the rack or out of the rack. Now here you're gonna shuffle those feet, get those feet in the right position, right? But keep your head down. It's gonna make it easier for the ref. Keep your head down, and as soon as you're ready and you feel pretty good and you're ready to make this lift, look up. As soon as you make eye contact with the ref, he's gonna ask you to squat, okay? So from there, you're gonna squat. You wanna make sure that the hip joint gets below the knee joint, okay? That's breaking parallel, right? And then come on up, you get 1 attempt to stand up. So you can't come halfway up, try to lower back down and fire back up. You get 1 attempt to stand up. Once again, listen to the commands for that referee to tell you to rack it. When he tells you to rack it, go ahead and step forward, rack it into the rack, just like so. And after that, more likely a great lift, you'll receive a good lift on that attempt. As we move on throughout the competition, now we can take a look at the bench. All right, once again, I'll just remind you one more time, remember to be listening to the commands of the referee as we go over the top kind of 4 or 5 things that you need to know about the next lift, the bench press, all right? So when you come up onto the bench, once again, the referee will ask you to come into the station. You'll have a certain amount of time to get there. From there, your head, your back, your butt, and your feet need to be flat. Now, making sure that once you set that position, it stays the same. Because again, that's what the referees will be looking at. If you change that position, maybe your foot comes up, your butt comes up off the bench, your head comes up, things like that, that could act as a dismissal of that lift, all right? So make sure that everything stays nice and flat and that position stays the same. Now, when you're all ready to go, you can have a lift off. So either our spotters or if you have somebody personally that you would like to use, you're gonna bring that out. Now from here, we're gonna take it down and we're gonna all the way down to our chest to where we're gonna have a pause. Right from there, that's when the ref will say press. We'll try one more just so you can see this. Once again, it's about a 1 to 2 second pause, and then he's gonna ask you to press. Now, when you bring it up, don't rack it right away. Once again, you gotta wait for those commands. The ref will tell you to rack the bar, rack it up, just like so, and again, another successful lift. Once again, listening to the commands, there's a slight pause, remember that on your bench, so be training that way. On to the last lift of our competition, that's the deadlift. Probably one of the more exciting ones that we'll see, a lot of big weight coming up off the platforms, so we're looking forward to this one. Again, giving you the tips so you're not surprised, you're ready to go come meet day, okay? So, really when it comes to it as far as what the rules are for deadlift, really it's just stand up to the bar, pick it up, make sure you lock it out, and then set it down when you're told to. But let's break that down just a little bit more. So when we come up again, sumo style or traditional style is fine, either one. Okay, so Alex is gonna take a look at the traditional style. That's what we wanna see. When you come up to the bar, once it starts to rise, that's your attempt. So if that bar starts to come up, that's what's gonna count as your attempt. Once you do that, you're gonna come all the way up. It's gotta get at least waist high. You're gonna lock out those knees, lock the shoulders back, stand up nice and tall. That's what the refs are gonna be looking for a good lift, okay? Then, when you go to set, when you gotta wait for the ref to say, go ahead and set it down, go ahead and set it down. What we don't do is drop it, okay? The major point of that is that you need to show us that you have control of that lift. Okay, now let's talk about what happens a lot, and it's what we call a hitch or ledging up onto the quads. So Alex is gonna bring it up to right there. Now he's starting to struggle, right? So he's gonna ledge it there and then try to jerk it up or kind of hitch it up, is why we call it a hitch, and get to a good lift. If that happens, that's gonna be a disqualified lift. And then once again, if you drop it, go ahead and drop it so everybody knows. If you drop that without the command of the judge, that's going to disqualify that lift as well. All right. So maintain good proper form when you're standing up. Make sure you lock it out. Wait for the lift or wait for the ref to tell you to set it down. And you're going to be just fine. Go get it.